I'm not gonna put nothing extra on it. If he want to marry me, he can get me an apartment building.
Oh, okay. That would be, you don't want a ring, you want an apartment complex.
Jenny Jen still kicking it. That's part one. And part two is, do you ever see yourself married one day?
So as far as Jenny Jen,
I love Jenny.
Absolutely, we are together, and I just appreciate her as a partner, as a woman, as an artist, as a human being. She's a special individual, and
I like her a lot.
Man, I'm just grateful for her.
Did Common just get caught red-handed cheating on Jennifer Hudson? Because Tiffany Haddish sure seems to think so, and she's been clowning Jennifer Hudson like it's a comedy show gone wrong. Everybody knows Tiffany still feels a certain type of way about Common moving on from her with J-Hud, and now it looks like she's finally getting her payback. Loud and petty. Word in the streets is Jennifer ignored every warning sign people tried to give her about Common. His history is messy, and the man has left behind a whole trail of broken hearts like it was nothing. And now folks are whispering that J-Hud is just the latest victim on the list. Allegedly, Common already has a brand new woman on his arm, and insiders say Jennifer's been losing her cool behind the scenes trying to hold it all together. But guess who's eating this up? Tiffany Haddish. She's out here enjoying every second like it's front row drama on TV. She's been throwing shade so slick it almost sounds like jokes, but everybody can tell who she's aiming at. From cryptic Instagram captions to sly comments in interviews, Tiffany isn't even trying to hide how much she loves watching Jennifer squirm. Some even say she's been dropping hints that Common was never faithful to begin with. And now the million-dollar question, why on earth would Common cheat on Jennifer Hudson of all people? Who is this mysterious new girlfriend that supposedly has him acting brand new? And the big question everyone's whispering, is Tiffany Haddish actually plotting to win Common back? Some folks swear she's moving like it's her moment for a little revenge romance. But let me keep it real. This situation is already looking like a whole soap opera. Now, I don't want to drag Jennifer Hudson while she's already dealing with heartbreak. But let's be honest, a lot of people saw this coming from a mile away. Common has never been the forever type, no matter how many times he tries to play the role of Mr. Serious. His dating history says it all. High-profile flings, relationships that don't even last a season, and a reputation for disappearing the second things start getting too real.
Thank God, and yes, we are good. Marriage is something that if I were to get married, then Jennifer is the person.
Oh, she the prototype?
She is but she's not only the prototype, she is the person.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's one of those things where I'm like always looking at my life and saying, okay, because that's a strong choice to make, And,
Absolutely.
Fans really thought J-Hud would be the one to change that pattern. They believed she would finally be the woman to make Common slow down, lock in, maybe even start that fresh family life he always dodges. But now that dream looks like it's 6 feet under because the streets are buzzing heavy with talk that Common has been cheating on her left and right. Word is, Jennifer is absolutely crushed, especially after this man was just telling interviewers she was the one, even dropping hints about marriage and forever love. The nerve of it all. Talking about weddings in public while in private, he's supposedly running wild all over town. And while plenty of fans feel bad for J-Hud, let me tell you who's not crying over this. Tiffany Haddish. She's living for every messy headline, every rumor, and every hint that Jennifer's fantasy love story with Common has completely crashed. An anonymous insider is spilling tea, claiming Tiffany Haddish has been loving every second of this cheating scandal blowing up in public. And honestly, if you've been following Tiffany's moves since her split with Common, this ain't shocking at all. She has never been shy about letting folks know she still has some unfinished feelings when it comes to him. And now, this mess is playing right into her hands. Over the years, Tiffany has thrown shade so sharp it could cut glass. And a lot of those jabs made it real clear she suspected Common was creeping on her with J-Hud from the jump. One moment that really stuck out? During an Instagram Live, a fan told Tiffany they once gave Common a pair of earrings to pass on to her, then asked if she ever got them. Tiffany didn't even blink before clapping back, dripping with that salty bitterness. She shot back, "Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave those to Jennifer." That right there told everybody what she really thought was happening behind the scenes. And let's be real, if Jennifer was dealing with Common while Tiffany was still around, it would explain perfectly why Tiffany's shade has been so consistent and so ruthless all this time. Fans in the comments even started piecing it together, saying maybe Tiffany wasn't just being petty, maybe she was telling on Common the whole time. And that's exactly why Tiffany seems to be enjoying every single second of Common's cheating scandal. Because in her eyes, this is pure karma coming full circle.
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave those to Jennifer.
To her, Jennifer's heartbreak is payback, and Tiffany is sitting front row watching it unfold like a live show. But here's where things get even messier. Some fans think this scandal might actually be Tiffany's chance to slide right back in. See, Tiffany has never been shy about showing she's still hung up on Common, and being the rumored side chick wouldn't scare her one bit if it meant even a slim chance of getting him back. She'd probably be like, "Come close to me, baby," without a second thought. When she first linked up with Common, it was clear she was way more invested than he was. She's the one who pushed for them to go public during the pandemic, and she made sure everybody knew she had him locked down. Remember that Instagram Live with Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union? Tiffany angled that camera just right so the world could peep her man sitting next to her. She wanted everybody to know Common wasn't single anymore, and it didn't stop there. Tiffany couldn't stop bragging about him. For his very first birthday they spent together, she made a huge deal about wanting it to be special. In one interview, she even spilled her dream plan, saying, "I'm just hoping me and my man, we go hot air ballooning and have us a nice little meal."
Do what's good for me and the lady. You know, right now all I want is happiness, good times, peace on earth.
That wasn't just romance talk. That was Tiffany imagining a whole future with him while he was just coasting along. Tiffany once joked about how she spent past birthdays. On her 39th, she got tipsy with her grandma. On her 40th, she threw herself a whole bat mitzvah just for fun. So when birthday number 41 came around, she wanted something unforgettable. That hot air balloon ride she kept hinting at over and over again. But guess what? Common skipped the whole idea completely. Not only did he ignore the balloon plan, but insiders say he didn't plan anything for her birthday at all. Word is, he sent her some flowers. But come on, that's the bare minimum when you're dealing with a woman who's out here dreaming about forever. Tiffany even admitted she was hoping for way more. Not just a ring, but a whole proposal with an apartment building instead of a diamond. Because she wanted something real and long-term. So how did Common react? He basically shrugged it off and showed everybody he was never in it for the forever talk. His vibe screamed, "Fun for now, not for life." And that was the beginning of the end. When they finally split just a couple of months later, fans weren't surprised at all. In fact, a lot of people felt relieved that Tiffany had finally escaped what they called Common's chokehold, because let's be real, he had her wrapped tight. But here's the twist.
Profession. Well, I think once Tiffany and I got back on the move, it really didn't allow for us to spend as much time and put as much energy into our relationship. I don't think the love really dispersed. I just think it was just like we weren't feeding the relationship. And as you said, neither one of us is going to stop. Like we both care about our crafts and what we do. And we care about love too and partnership. But I think, the energy that has been put into our careers and continuing to want to do the things that we do for ourselves and for the people is like, it was hard for me to balance all of that and keep the relationship.
Even though Tiffany was the one clearly invested, Common was the one who pulled the plug. Then he tried to flip the script and smooth it over by blaming their busy schedules like it wasn't really about him dodging commitment once again. Tiffany wasn't about to let Common slide with that weak, busy schedules excuse. She clapped back with her own version of events. basically saying he's the type who never truly settles down with anybody. She even compared him to a beet buzzing from flower to flower to flower, never sticking around long enough to build something real. That was Tiffany's slick way of hinting he might have been cheating, even though she stopped short of spelling it out. And when Common suddenly popped up with Jennifer Hudson, Tiffany once again couldn't resist slipping her 2 cents into an interview. She said, "It was the healthiest, the funnest relationship I ever had. It's where I felt safest out of all the relationships I ever had. The breakup wasn't mutual. It was more him saying, 'I think this relationship is running its course.' And I was like, okay, like you gonna be a 50-year-old single man? Okay." That sounded like Tiffany wasn't just talking about herself. She was also throwing shade at J-Hud, warning that the same playbook might be used on her next. And now, with all these cheating rumors, it really does look like Common is running the exact same play on Jennifer that he used on Tiffany. Sweet words at first, then a sudden cold switch when things get serious. But here's the thing, Tiffany and Jennifer are far from the only ones who've been caught in this pattern. Common has a long trail of heartbreaks behind him. We're talking names like Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Erykah Badu, and more. Every single time, the story sounds the same. Intense chemistry, a little honeymoon glow, then Common dips before the commitment stage even comes close. Common has a pattern. The second a woman really starts catching feelings, he hits her with a psych, pulls the plug, and slides right on to the next.
I'd give you a duplex, an eightplex or something. You know, the homegirl be like, where your ring? I thought you was engaged. Where your ring? Where your carrots? Carrots. Girl, please, I got units. Knock it off.
What makes it even worse is that almost none of his exes stay cool with him after the breakup, especially Erykah Badu. And that's because many say he did all of them dirty in one way or another. For some context, Common and Erykah Badu linked up back in 2000, and for about 2 years, they were one of hip-hop's favorite couples. People thought that might actually be the one time he'd lock it down for real, but by late 2002, Erykah called it quits, and the way it all went down turned into a scandal of its own. At first, Erykah kept things quiet, playing her cards close to the chest, but Common had no problem airing out his side of the story. He claimed she left him for somebody else and didn't even do it face to face. According to him, she dumped him over the phone while he was out on tour. He recalled, "I was in my hotel room and she called me like, 'Hey, I don't want to be in this relationship no more.' I'm like, 'It's somebody else.'" He later admitted it crushed him to the core. Common even confessed that Erykah was his very first love, saying, "With Erykah Badu, that was my first love, where you just open and floating. When we split, I was 27, 28. I was in a haze, just going through the motions." But here's the catch. Fans have always wondered if that story was really as one-sided as he made it sound, or if maybe Erykah had her own reasons for cutting him off that he just didn't want to admit. Erykah eventually got fed up with Common spinning the breakup story his way, painting her as the villain, so she started hinting that things weren't as clean as he made them sound. She strongly suggested infidelity was part of the picture. In one interview, she dropped a gem that had fans reading between the lines. "No, infidelity is not a deal breaker for me. We are all born sexual beings. I myself am not someone with a very high libido. I don't require intimacy for happiness. I need companionship. I need a partner I can depend on, that I can love and grow with. But I do understand the nature of these men I have been with, and men in general, they have a need to chase." That was her subtle way of saying, yeah, Common might have been creeping, but she wasn't going to sit around and air out all the dirty laundry. Still, fans caught it. She was basically confirming he cheated while he was out here spinning the narrative like she was the one who caught feelings for somebody else.
And he says the work he's doing on himself will help him fulfill a lifelong dream. And you write a lot about you want to be a husband one day. You have a rather famous relationship coach.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Michelle Obama, she has definitely helped talk me through just certain moments of relationships. We had conversations, and she has given me a lot of wisdom. But one great thing that she told me as I was going through this journey was that you have to understand you're not going to get anybody that's perfect because you're not perfect. So understand that there's some certain things that you will compromise in choosing that partner. But as long as the core values, the values that are most important to you, that person, marks off on that list, then you good.
She gave some good advice there.
That's good wisdom.
She does some really good wisdom.
That kind of blame shifting, straight up manipulative. And this isn't just a one-off story either. Common's track record of failed romances has people side-eyeing every time he gets into something new. After things ended with Angela Rye, he suddenly tried to flip the script and clean up his image. He started talking about going to therapy, saying he was working on himself, ready to be a better partner, and all that feel-good talk. But looking at how things are unraveling with Jennifer Hudson, it's clear that therapy either didn't fix the real issue or Common just didn't take it seriously enough. Because once again, he's being accused of doing the exact same thing, showering a woman with sweet words, making her look like the one, then allegedly cheating behind her back. What makes this whole situation with Common even harder to swallow is the fact that Jennifer Hudson had already been through more than enough heartbreak in her life. She didn't deserve another round of betrayal. People haven't forgotten her relationship with wrestler David Otunga and the tragic storm that surrounded it. Just weeks after Jennifer got engaged, her world was shattered when her mom, brother, and young nephew were all taken from her in an unthinkable act committed by her own brother-in-law. It was one of the darkest chapters imaginable, and Jennifer needed someone solid to hold her up. David stepped in at that moment, making sure she wasn't completely alone. He planned trips, gave her support, and tried to help her escape that crushing grief while she worked to heal. Then, like a ray of light breaking through endless darkness, Jennifer got pregnant later that same year. In 2009, she and David welcomed their son, David Jr., and for a while, it really looked like the pieces of her life were falling back into place. By 2010, though, after being engaged for more than 2 years, people started whispering about when the wedding was finally going to happen. Rumors swirled that the ceremony was set, but the date kept getting pushed back. Eventually, instead of walking down the aisle, the relationship completely unraveled. And the breakup wasn't quiet or clean, it was ugly. Jennifer claimed in the final stretch of their time together, David's behavior turned aggressive and controlling. She accused him of being threatening toward both her and their son. There were even claims that things escalated into mental and physical abuse, turning what once looked like a love story into a nightmare. For Jennifer, who had already survived so much loss, having her relationship end that way was another deep wound. That's why fans now say it cuts even deeper to see her caught in yet another messy situation with Common, a man who sold her dreams of stability only to allegedly betray her in the same pattern he's repeated with so many other women. As Jennifer's relationship with David Otunga completely unraveled, things got terrifying. She alleged that he sent her chilling messages that left her so shaken she actually called security to stop him from storming into the studio and causing a scene. Thankfully, he never showed up there. But according to Jennifer, the nightmare didn't end. Later that same day, she claimed David was waiting for her at home. She said he confronted her, grabbed their son by the arm, and dragged him upstairs into the master bedroom. Then he allegedly shoved Jennifer out the room while still holding their child's hand. That kind of moment left her fans horrified, and it cemented why she could never go back to him. Jennifer deserved way better than that. But here's the big question. Was Common really an upgrade? Because looking at the mess he's left behind, it seems like Jennifer just traded one toxic situation for another disappointment. Common has shown the same cycle with woman after woman. He woos them, makes them feel like the one, then suddenly flips the switch, cheats, or checks out completely. Jennifer is now just the latest name on a heartbreak list that stretches back decades. And in true Common fashion, everyone knows it's only a matter of time before he quietly, soft launches his next relationship on Instagram like nothing ever happened, smiling, posing, and acting brand new while the last chapter is still smoldering. Meanwhile, Tiffany Haddish is somewhere laughing, sipping tea, and enjoying every messy second of it. At the end of the day, Tiffany didn't just crack a few jokes, she cracked this whole situation wide open, pulling the curtain back on Common's so-called good guy image. So, what do you think? Is Jennifer just another name in his long string of heartbreaks? Or is this the scandal that finally makes people see him for who he really is? Jennifer Hudson's name is sitting right in the middle of this whirlwind, and Common is already out here flaunting his new flame like none of this even matters. The man moves on fast, and he's acting brand new, while Tiffany Haddish is making sure the world has front row seats to every messy detail. She's clowning, she's shading, and she's making sure nobody forgets what went down. Now, the question everybody's asking is simple. Was Tiffany just being playful with her shade, or did she just rip open some old wounds that Jennifer is still quietly nursing? Because if you look close enough, the timing, the comments, the energy, it doesn't feel like coincidence. It feels like Tiffany knew exactly what she was doing. And let's be real, this saga is far from finished. If anything, the next chapter might be even juicier, especially with whispers saying Jennifer might be trying to win Common back despite all this chaos. Imagine that twist. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. This drama is still heating up, and you don't want to miss what comes next. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and stay locked in to see what's on our radar next.